Yup. Pat just landed still. 2 sets, I'm gonna pull it down. I'm gonna check it out now. Smooth still. Yeah, I'm seeing Leicester on the 27th still.
How much man have I helped in this life? It's too many. All I need is a phone and a like a sim. Now it's time to win. Bro spending time in bin, but I still send him things. Make sure it's nice within.
Sinners Providers. Yeah. Sinners Providers, men's mental health. Don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe. Do that from now. Get us up in the algorithms. Press that like button. Leave a comment. All that good stuff. What's going on?
What's happening?
Who we got in the building?
We got Peter G. Peter G knows on all handles on social media.
Peter G knows all handles. And who's Peter G then?
Peter G, just a kid from Manchester who's learnt a lot of hardships and grown from it, and yeah, just trying to lead by example.
You look like a proper manny guy as well, like tattoos.
Come on, man.
Veneers.
Come on, man. You got to, do you know what I mean? Just don't underestimate the correlation between looking good and feeling good. Do you know what I mean? I think you should always show up as your best self. Do you know what I mean?
You know what? That's a fact. You know, like it's like there's probably been times in my life when I don't feel good, yeah, and I'm not representing like my wardrobe. Like I ain't got not to say that you need to have like the best designer clothes or this and that, but like, you know, if I'm going out and I don't feel good about myself, like it does a knock-on effect.
You're gonna give people a lesser version of you. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
If you don't feel like your best, you're not gonna perform your best. Do you know what I mean? So the people around you are not gonna get the best. Do you know what I mean? So it's always good to take care of yourself. Try and look good whenever you can. You know what I mean?
100%.
Come on, man. I'm coming on the Sinners podcast. Got to have a little wash and a shave, man, bro. Come on.
And who's Peter G then? Like what's Peter G's story?
So basically, I come from a place called Wythenshawe in South Manny. Yeah, it's like I don't know if it still is, but it was supposed to be the biggest council estate in Europe. Do you know what I mean? So it was a bit, and luckily, I came up before social media, so I kind of got to before all the clout chasing and before all that sort of
City or United fan?
City, but I'm an old school City fan. I'm not really, to be honest. Yeah, when we started winning, I stopped watching. I used to watch like back in the day when we used to go like Walsall away. I've been to Birmingham away, you know, places like that when it was unsafe, when it was exciting. Do you know what I mean? Like when you knew you was getting a beating, but you were still turning up anyway. That's
the old school days.
The old school proper fans, not like all these new age kids now who are just throwing on Haaland shirts and all that and thinking that they're about the business. They don't know what it takes to be a proper City fan. You know what I mean?
That's what I'm saying, because I got some City bridgings in Birmingham, my age now, like. And they just get slated, bro.
They're just trying to back a winning horse, do you know what I mean? You can't blame them, but, you know, everyone can see right through them. You can see right through the clout chasers, can't you, bro?
So explain to us what a real City fan's like. Like, what's it like to be a real City fan?
A real City fan knows what it's like to get your ass kicked week in, week out, but still show up anyway, you know what I mean? And that's how real people from Manchester live their life, you know what I mean? You show up no matter, even if you know you're going to get a beating, you still show up, do you know what I mean? You show up for your team, for your people.
Away games, all of that?
Away games every week. I've been to every ground in the country, bro, back in the day. Oh, mate, it was madness. Madness.
You're talking about like when you was in the...
Division 1 and all that, yeah. But we was in Division 2, so I didn't really go to too many in Division 2. But like Division 1, like I've been to all like the roughest grounds where it's like fucking wooden seats and all that. Like before all the money, do you know what I mean?
Before all the money came in, before the shakes came in, So do you reckon they ruined the club then?
I don't reckon they ruined the club because like what they've done is they've built up the area itself round. They've built like there's like tubes and everything. They've built up like training grounds. They've invested in local hospitals. They've built up the council estates, the rough areas around. They've invested a lot of capital into it just to help communities. They do a lot of charity work from what I'm hearing and things like that. So they've elevated the city as a whole. So to say that it's a bad thing will be doing them a disservice. Do you know what I mean? But in terms of football. Yeah, because the atmosphere is not even as good. Like anybody who used to go to Main Road was one of the roughest grounds in the country. Any Birmingham fan, anyone can vouch for that. Like in the middle of Moss Side, it was like fucking like putting a football ground in the middle of gangland. You know what I mean? It was rough as toast. So like anybody like who knows about the Main Road days can appreciate that. So, but like the atmosphere then with half the ground and half the attendance was well better. Do you know what I mean?
So do you reckon the fan base has changed then?
Yeah. The last game, the
more
last
like commercial?
Yeah, it is more commercial. Everyone sat down. When really, I used to go when you're like 40 years to squeeze in a turnstile and get through, and no one had a seat, and you're all on each other's shoulders going bananas. Do you know what I mean? Whereas now it's like, do you used to
be standing as well? Did it
the North stand at the back?
Yeah,
you saw stand at the back ramp. Did you know what I mean? See, you know about it, man.
Yeah.
But those were the days. Those were the days, man.
Okay then. So what's Peter's story then?
So just so basically, I had a 2-parent background till I was about 11, and then my mum got diagnosed with cancer. She had like a one-off cancer in her tongue, and they managed to pull off like a one-time surgery. Took a piece out of her forearm and made like a piece for her tongue. She ended up surviving it anyway. Had to like learn to speak again and things like that. And it was tough. But when she bounced back, she was a different person. She like strayed from home, partying all the time, things like that. She ended up like meeting someone else, caused a mad like rupture in the family.
Is this when you were young?
This is when I was young, yeah. This is when I was going into high school, and then obviously it caused a lot of fucking friction, and I seen a lot of fucking domestic abuse and shit like that. So and then the family ended up breaking up, and then it was just like it was downhill from there. My dad went completely cold, changed into a different man. So then I never had that male role model in the house. Yeah. So then what do you do when you haven't got a male role model in the house? You go outside and look for it. And the only thing outside, growing up in the early 2000s and things like that, was your local guys, you know what I mean? And they weren't up to good things. They were on the activities. They were on like naughty things, you know what I mean? But then you start being programmed by that, thinking that's the way to go.
Start getting raised by the streets, basically.
You start getting raised by the streets, bro, and the street codes and things like that. And before you know, you start getting an appetite for things like violence and things like that. So I've been through all that. Ended up going in. I went to a decent high school, to be fair to my parents. They put me there. They didn't give me the tools that I needed to survive in there. So then I ended up going, trying to fit in and things like that. I ended up going to jail in year 11 and did my GCSEs.
Swear down.
Did my GCSEs in Hindley,
Jail in year. So how old are you? Is that like 16?
16, yeah. I just turned 16, so it was just for punching somebody once, you know what I mean? It was a stupid mistake because I was drinking alcohol and that in the daytime. Yeah. Trying to fit in, trying to impress people and that, just trying to live up to the streets, basically. I've hit someone once, ended up like doing him a bit of damage, and then that's landed me doing my GCSEs basically in jail. And if you would have seen me when I was 16, mate,
but was it one of them ones where like from young you was on fighting, you was on knocking about like?
We used to do that because before the internet there was no outlet, there was no entertainment, so we used to have to create our own. So you get your boys, like your day ones, about 10 years, you'd all get together, you'd put whatever little change you get together, get as much weed and as much alcohol as you could, and you'd be getting off your face at a very young age before you even knew what life was about. And then before you know it, you're bumping into other groups of people on the estate, and then you're fighting, you're clashing and things like that. You just basically like...
Let me ask you a question then. You see how you see today with the kids, there's a lot of postcode wars, beefs between ends. Would you say it was like that for you lot? Yeah. Was it the same?
Yeah, it was exactly the same, but now it's being over glamorized in the music. Like since the UK rap scene's taken off, they're glamorizing this thing to this youth. Like if you go down the street nowadays, you'll see 6 or 7 kids, they've all got balaclavas rolled up on their heads, and I'm like, when you had a balaclava on when I was growing up, you was about to do something, it was about to get rolled down, whereas these are only doing it to keep the daft long hairstyles at bay. Do you know what I mean? They're not really about anything. You might get 1 or 2 of them have got a little pocket knife, but they're gonna do more damage to themselves with it.
It's almost like even having a knife is like merchandise to them. Having the Bally's merchandise.
Because they're hearing it constantly. Do you know what I mean? The people who they're looking up to, all these rappers, they don't realise they're not switched on enough to see that they're not even really about that life. They're selling you a dream. You're buying that dream, and they're leaving you in the ghetto, in the slums, or wherever you're from, where it's going on, and they're laughing at you from a fucking ivory tower. They don't care about you. Do you know what I mean? All these young kids, they're gassed up on some message that's being pushed out. The more this UK rap scene gets built up, do you know what I mean? Like, I'm not saying I've got anything against the rap scene itself, do you know what I mean? Because I grew up on it, I still listen to it now, I love it, do you know what I mean? But you can't let it program you, and I just think when you're susceptible to programming as a kid, it's if there's not a mate, like I was saying before about the importance of a male role model in the household, if there isn't a strong role model there,
you look for him elsewhere.
You're gonna look for him elsewhere, and what's elsewhere? Kids walking about balaclavas, fucking drill music, X, Y, and Z, do you know what I mean? So it's a recipe for disaster, bro.
So do you think when you was at your age, you feel like you was influenced by music?
Yeah, but see, when we was like listening to fucking bassline us when we were kids, we weren't listening to fucking Chef this and do this and all that. We weren't listening to none of that. We was listening to like mad beats, getting fucking gassed
Burger
up.
Boy,
we
yeah,
was
man.
Burger Boy and Bass Boy and
Yeah,
come
yeah.
on, man, you know the dance, bro.
I used to be a bassline DJ as well.
That's what I'm saying, man. So you can appreciate the
Yeah.
fucking energy that the music gives you. And we were just used to just bounce about and knock about. We weren't like all carrying pocket knives. Like, don't get me wrong, I've seen a lot of shit growing up. But my circle of friends and things like that, we were just all good kids, just in a bad environment.
yeah,
do you know what I
yeah,
mean? So
yeah.
you just become like, you only grow to what you're exposed to. So coming from a rough estate like that, it was only a matter of time before we all started getting involved in certain things and then involved in like violence and things, because you get desensitized to it as you're growing up on the streets, as you know. Do you know what I
man.
mean?
So year 11, you got a sentence.
It was just a light couple of months, you know what I mean? Which was enough. If you would have seen me when I was a kid, you would have thought he was in no fit state to go into jail. Like I even remember it like this. This is what a lot of these kids don't realize now. They're looking up to this lifestyle, but I'm telling you now, when you step foot off, when you're just a little skinny kid, 15, 16, and you're stepping off that sweatbox and you're looking up at those gates and the big barbed wires and you hear the noise and you think, now I'm in it. This is for the big dogs, you know what I mean? That's what, and them kids don't understand that. They're not ready to be that scared, you know what I mean? They're just listening to the music and getting involved and thinking it's all funny. You're either going to take somebody's life or you're going to end up fucking your own up and shitting yourself when it comes to the crunch, you know what I mean? And that's what happened to me. Like I'll be the first person to admit it was no place for me.
Yeah, that's it's interesting that you even bring it up, because I do think when I do watch the news, I hear about things that's happened locally. When I hear about a lot of life sentences that are being handed out, the people that are getting them, like, bro, there's some real demons in this world, you know, like. But then when you look at the people that are getting life sentence, it's not to say they don't deserve it, but I don't think that's them.
It's like a one-off thing. Like somebody could have the heart of gold, but then if they don't control their emotions and they're not self-aware enough, something that takes 15 seconds will get you 15 years. Do you know what I mean? So you've got to control your anger and control your emotions, especially when you're on the streets, because you can get involved in an altercation over something so small, and then you'll react in a way that's not normally you. Do you know what I mean? You'll compromise your character because you feel like you're in survival mode, and then you'll end up getting 15 years for something that took 15 seconds, and you'll be burnt, bro.
You know what's mad? Like, you hear a lot of people say like, you can't take that violation, this and that. You know what I mean? Like, it's a big thing for people to think that something can happen to them and they have to feel a certain way about it. But let's be real though, we all feel that way. Like, I've had thoughts and feelings towards situations where I thought, nah, I've got to do something. You get what I'm saying? But I feel like it's like processing those thoughts is something that a lot of people don't do very well. Do you get it?
Yeah.
Because bro, even today, I got a gym in it. I've been in jail as well. Bro, I got knocked out in jail, bro. Yeah. I've told this story. You'd have to find it somewhere, But basically, on the wing, it was Christmas time, food and all that, bro. 2 guys were acting, however there's acting. I've ended up smacking one of them. Went in the pad, came out the pad. Guys knocked me out from behind. You get what I'm saying? Well,
That's always the way.
But what I'm trying to say is now, that guy was in the gym with me today. Do you get what I'm trying to say? I ain't got no bad feelings, bro. Like, I've really assessed it and I've took my blame for, like, I've been accountable for my part in that situation. But don't get it twisted. There's been times where I thought, nah, I can't have people thinking that this is all right and people are going to look at me a certain way. And do you get what I'm trying to say? And a lot of people do feel, made to feel like they have to either get back or they have to. They can't. I don't know if forgive's the right word, or even be accountable for themselves in any situation. You get it. Sometimes you got to look at yourself and say, "Yo, how did you get in this situation how did I get in that situation where that's even happening?"
Yeah, of course.
Do you get it?
That comes with maturity, though, and comes with a lot of like taking accountability, like you said. And a lot of people run from that. They'd rather just hide behind their ego and let their ego dictate how they react in certain situations. And as well, it's all like about the people who are around you as well. If you feel like you've got to live up to some sort of expectation all the time, and you've got to have this front, and you've got to act hard all the time, then if you're hearing this now and that sounds like a bit of you, then you're around the wrong people. You need to get around people that if you step out of line, your mates will be like, "Are you fucking mad?"
100%.
Like, you think about your family. Think about if you're going to be the one stood in a dock. What's your mum going to feel like? You need to relax. Let him have his little 3 minutes of fame because we've got a bigger vision. We're going this way. You know what I mean? So I just think like say proximity is power in it. So I just think you should surround yourself with people who want the best for you, and anyone that encourages you to react to little shitty fucking things, you've not got your best interest at heart, bro.
That's definitely a big one, bro, because I do feel like sometimes people with their friends and their circles do feel like supporting your brethren in his wrongness is the right thing to do.
No.
But sometimes telling your brethren, bro, like, fix the fuck up, bro. Like, you caused this. Don't think that man are going to be here to be sorting out your bullshit when you're going to continue doing that.
100%.
Fix up. You get it?
100%.
I think that's not spoke about enough as well, because that is what causes a lot of situations. People backing their brethren blindly.
Yeah.
Do you get it? Or not even understanding that, yo, your friend can be the problem. You get it? Sometimes, and if that is, like, don't get it twisted. I've got friends, yeah, that are that way inclined to want to be like that, bro. I have to remove myself from them, but I'll tell them, though, like, bro, you are crazy, bro. I cannot be with you the way that you are. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You're a bit too hot-headed. So let me just be your friend from over there. You
Yeah,
get it?
I've got a friend like that. Yeah, so he's currently got a life sentence. He's in Strange Ways now, about 4 years in. So basically, he's been at the shops. He's had an argument with a young kid. The young kid was drunk, whatever.
Yeah.
He's thinking nothing of it. The kid's walked around the side of his van, punched him in the side of the face. He's got out, had an altercation. The kid's had like some sort of martial arts background. Ended up kicking my mate's ass. Do you know what I mean? So my mate's got off, face all covered in blood. Pissed off, and he's bumped into somebody who's gone, what? Take me back there now, and we'll do him in. They've gone back there. It's like, again, fucking 30 seconds, 30 years type thing. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Done something stupid, and I'm like that. If he would have bumped into me, I'd have been like, no. One, you're in your own van. Two, you're covered in your own blood. Calm down. It's broad daylight. Process it. Like, do you know what I mean? Like,
that's it.
It depends who you've got around you. That it's massive. The influences in your life. Do you know what I mean? And you've got to be able to curate your own circle. You know what I mean?
100%.
Mad, man.
That's a big one, bro. But how do you even get to understand that, though, man? Especially as a kid, when the influences, it seems like you've got to go with the crowd. You know what I'm saying?
Listen, I see these kids now, and I feel half sorry for them, because when I'm looking around, I'm looking at who the dads are and things like that, and see me, like, up until like my mid-20s, and I used to blame my parents for the way I turned out. Do you know what I mean? But then I actually deeped it and assessed it, and I thought, I'm holding something against them that they didn't even know was possible. I'm looking at their parents and the gaps with them. So how could I expect my dad to teach me how to be a man when he'd never even seen what a real one looks like? His dad died when he was young. His stepdad who stepped into those shoes was an abusive alcoholic. So if he's only ever been around abuse and hate, how can I expect him to turn that around with no social media access, with no outreach, just on the council estate that we all grew up in? How can I hold on and resent somebody like that for not making me a better man? Do you know what I mean? So you've got to, I don't know, it's like some of the kids now, I'm looking at the dads and I'm looking at, like, that's why I try and be like, listen, I'm not fucking perfect, far from it, and I never even try to be. I don't say do as I do, I say do as I say. Do you know what I mean? And if I can help people, then I will. But, like, I just think the importance of a male role model is just massive. Do you know what I mean?
How do you get to the point? How do you get to that point of understanding that? How did I get to the point of understanding it? Because there's only so many times you can hit your head against the wall. There's only so many times you can stand in front of a judge. There's only so many times you can see, like, my friend getting a life sentence. There's only so many times, like, I've been on the wrong side of a knife. Like, for anybody, like, thinking it's cool, like, going around stabbing people and all that, mate, no music comes out when you get stabbed. When it'll only be your mum round the hospital bed, or your girlfriend, or whoever. Do you know what I mean? It won't be all your boys won't be there saying fucking free the team and all the little sayings that you got with the fucking balaclavas on in the hospital. It'll just be you, weak, pale, sat in an hospital bed with your mum and the people who really love you around, and there's no reward for that. It's shit. Do you know what I mean? But there's only so many times it can happen to somebody before they actually make positive changes. Do you know what I mean? And I was just sick of getting the shit end of the stick of life. Do you know what I mean? And I had to pull away from certain people, like some people who I grew up with now. Like, they don't even got my phone number anymore, because I could see the way I was going if I was going to stay with these sort of people. Do you know what I mean? So you've got to be self-aware. You've got to literally assess every relationship in your life and go, if I stick with this person, am I going to end up here? Am I going to get closer to my goals? But was there like an actual event,
like
or
a defining moment?
Yeah.
See, now with most people, yeah, they always say this about, like, one defining moment. But with me, I could give you 10.
Yeah.
Like, I'm one of them. Like, you could tell me to stop speeding 10 times, but it wasn't till I crash my car that I'll actually stop. Like, I don't listen when I'm told. So I've been like any normal kid, you go jail, especially when you look like the fucking Milky Bar kid, like I did. Do you know what I mean? No fit state to be in gladiator school anyway. Let me tell you. So you come out, you'd think that'd scare me straight, but it didn't. It just made me worse. Do you know what I mean? And, like, I don't know. It's to say anything changed me. Like, I've had so many events happen. Like you'd think that I've been in, like.
Is it like just going through a lot of bad situations.
Yeah, it's just getting
Like-
sick and tired of just constantly going round in circles. Never really end up getting. I don't know. So you're never really getting anything out of it. Like all these bad things that keep happening. Like it's only so much.
What's the result of the bad things that keep happening? Because obviously, when you say bad things keep happening, it's obviously
it's choices
it's a lifestyle choice.
It's choices that I'm making. Yeah, it's
but
the
within that lifestyle choice, though, like it's not like, oh, I'm gonna live bad. Like there's something fun about the lifestyle choices that you're making in it, but it ends up in a bad result.
Yeah, of
if you get what
course,
I'm
because
trying
you're
to
not
say.
thinking long term,
Yeah.
because you don't see long term, and there's nobody like so. When you come from a council estate, there's nobody that's paved the way, so you can't look at anybody like the people who you're looking up to. They only ever end up in prison and come out. Do you know what I mean? And then you just like. It's just by proxy. You just end up following in their footsteps. Like not even with it, because you've got no direction, no plan, no one leading you to do anything better with your life. So you just automatically follow suit, and you see it. You see like the young kids are just growing up to be exactly like the olders. Do you know what I mean? And it's just like you have to get to a certain point where you want more for yourself. You have to like look forward and like, if I stay on this path, where's it gonna lead me? Do you know what I mean? And if I have to keep hanging around with these set people, where's it going to lead me? Like, you have to. Not a lot of people are that self-aware and actually get to make the decisions that I'm lucky that I've actually made it, because you've got to have something going on between your ears. You can't just be programmed by your friends and by your ego and like by music and things like that. You've got to think for yourself and be brave enough to say no and pull yourself away from like you said, you pulled yourself away from certain people.
Yeah.
You've got to be brave enough. Do you know what I mean?
So what does making it look like to you then? Because you just said I've made it, and obviously that's you identifying that you've got yourself out of a certain situation. Because
I've just found peace, and when
Yeah.
you're involved in a lot of shit and you're growing up on the streets and you come from a broken home and things like that, you never even you underestimate the value of peace. You're not even thinking about it. But when you get to a point where you take accountability for every single thing that you've done in your life, good or bad, whether you got the shit end of the stick or whatever, and you say, right, it's my fault because I take responsibility for the places I place myself, there's a level of peace that comes with it. But a lot of people, they're not there to look in the mirror and say, right, I shouldn't have done that. Do you know what I mean? They always want to blame someone else and say, oh, it's because my mum, and do you know what I mean? Or it's because I grew up here or whatever. But, you know, everyone still has the same 24 hours in a day. We've all still got, do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
We've all got a brain between our ears. Like, it's about making, like being a City fan, making the best out of a bad situation. You know what I mean, bro?
Making the best
and
out.
Yeah, exactly. And not a lot of people do that. They just rather, it's easier just to seek comfort and just be a product to your environment for a lot of people. You know what I mean?
the hardest thing is to show someone how to be accountable when they can't see it.
This is why like, and now I stress about like coaching and things like that, because like, since I've become a coach, like people always like message me like, oh, I want a better mindset, but I can't really be bothered like training all the time and that. And I'm like, it's not the training, because anybody can get you in shape, anybody can give you a plan, but it's having someone you respect on the end of the phone who's going to be there every week to hold you accountable. Like, if you can't hold yourself accountable, you have to get an accountability coach. That's what it's all about. Like, I still invested in mentors and coaches and things of that nature now. Do you know what I mean? You always need somebody who you're looking up to.
That's another great point. Yeah, I had a meeting yesterday, and business meeting about just getting things off the ground in certain ways with the vodka and whatever. But one of the people that we brought into the group, they've got loads of coaches for loads of different reasons, loads of mentors for loads of different reasons. And just listening to the value of having a mentor, someone who can hold you accountable in different areas, whether it's your life, whether it's marketing, whether it's finance, whether it's like, I think people underestimate that, you know what I mean? You know, because it comes with a cost.
It comes with a cost, but do you know what?
It's
Like,
underestimated.
if you can't part ways with a little bit of change or whatever, you're going to have to pay a cost either way. Whether it's going to cost you your time, whether it's going to cost you further making mistakes down the line. Do you know what I mean? They say, a wise man learns from his mistakes. A wiser man learns from someone else's. So the quickest way to time collapse your goals and to learn from someone else's mistakes is to just part ways with what little fucking funds that it costs to get someone in who's going to hold you accountable and stop you making all the mistakes and on all the trial and error bullshit. Do you know what I mean? But some 100%. People, but especially with men though, it's hard for men to step forward and go, you know what? I don't know all the answers.
Yeah.
Can you help me? For a man to reach out to me and ask me, can he? Do you know what I mean? They see it as submitting, but you're not. You're doing yourself, your future self, a massive favour.
I think also, I feel like we're all programmed to view spending in some mad ways, because when it comes to a weekend, you go out and spend 300-400 quid, easy.
Easy.
When it comes to a gym membership, £70 a month.
People squabbling over the smallest things, like
get what I'm saying?
it's 50 quid a month. They're like, has it got a sauna? No, I'm like,
Do you get what I'm
you
saying?
don't care
Like,
when you pop in
but
bottles.
yeah, in the weekend you just blew through and you don't even know where it went. You probably gave it to someone else. You get what I'm saying?
Oh, it's mad, man. It's values and
yeah.
priorities, man. People need to get them in check, or you're just gonna keep going around.
I feel like it's mindset and I don't know. Like I said, the more self-aware you become, the more you want to work on yourself, you realize that you do actually need other people to do that.
Of course.
You know what I'm saying? And you will need to reach out. Maybe not necessarily. You might not need a mentor for everything. Do you get what I'm saying? But you might need to analyze where you need to improve, and you know,
Exactly, man.
when it comes to the coaching thing, I'm sure you can meet 100 coaches to find out who's the right one. There's loads of different people.
Everybody's good at different things. It's
Yeah.
like it's identifying your strengths and your weaknesses, and wherever you're weak in an area, I guarantee there's somebody that used to be weak who's rebuilt themselves in it might have took them 5 years, but they'll teach you how to do it in 3 months.
And I don't even think you have to be weak in an area. You could be strong, but you still should be willing to learn as well. Also.
Yeah.
And
When I say
improve,
weak,
yeah.
I don't mean like see it as a weakness. I
Yeah,
just mean
but
maybe lacking,
yeah,
maybe
yeah,
not
yeah.
as experienced. You know what I mean? So yeah, I definitely think like people need to get this like stigma about coaching out of their head, because it can take you so much further, so much quicker.
So how did you get into coaching?
To be honest, I only really just like I've not been doing it too long, because I was doing loads. I just wanted to motivate people. I just don't know. There was something inside of me. I don't know whether it was God that telling me to do it, or just to. So I've been on the receiving end of a motivational video that changed my life. So I went through like a proper like dark stage with like drugs and alcohol and things like that. Like when I was growing up on the streets, all I ever wanted to be was big and strong and have a nice car and have a nice girlfriend and be a big and not be the little Milky Bar kid that I was growing up. And then when I got to that point, it was like, right, I want to go out now and start showing everyone like what I've made. And then it was like, I just drunk myself into the ground, ran myself down, and then I just ended up like depressed. I was physically self-harming for about 13 months straight, where to the point where I was doing mad stuff, contemplating my existence on this earth. And I just remember once I was laying in bed, I was fucking with an hoodie on in bed. I'd not showered for about 3 days, probably not even brushed my teeth, and it was sunny outside, and I thought, I can't keep going on like this. And something just told me to pull up YouTube, and there was a video on there of a guy like doing press ups with the dumbbells, and he was a motivational speaker from America called Eric Thomas, and he's speaking over the video, and just the conviction in his voice just lit a fire in me, and I thought, wow, what am I doing? And that day I got up and just went out and went to the gym and just started to rebuild again. You know what I mean? Don't get me wrong. Like it went all uphill from there. I made some more mistakes. I fucked up a few more times. Probably fucking lost everything a couple of times after that. But
life.
I knew the power of something. I had a tool then that I'd never been exposed to.
Something
like,
that you could focus on, basically.
something that would help me fucking get back to like a winning mindset. Do you know what I mean? Because like I was saying before, you can only grow to what you're exposed to. So I didn't know anything about motivation. I didn't even know that it was a thing. But then when I got exposed to it, I was like, this is a fucking hack, this. Do you know what I mean? So then when I started doing it myself, you have to get to a point in life, I think, as a man as well, especially when you get older and you are maturing, you have to analyze what you're good at, what your gifts are. Do you know what I mean? If you're a sports person, if you're a rapper, whatever you're good at, and you've just got to put your all into it. Like coaching and rapping and that. I mean, coaching and helping other people. That wasn't my first thing. What I wanted to do.
Yeah.
I always wanted to be an actor. Like I always thought like I could be on screen.
I reckon you could still be an actor though, you know. I can see you.
The council on stage, James Bond.
I can see you in one of them Manny dramas though, to be fair.
Do you know what? It's funnily enough, since I've like building my online presence, I've had two people say like get me in for auditions.
Yeah,
so
yeah,
I probably will do it in the future, because
man.
that's where my love is. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
As much as I've got love for helping other people,
Yeah.
like my passion's like screen acting. I do love it. Do you know what I mean? And I did. Like that's what I did want to do, but then I just feel like some of us have just got like I'd say it's a gift almost, because like you could be going through the most amount of shit in your life, everything could be fucking collapsing around you, but you can still make other people feel okay.
Yeah.
And that's only like the set few of us. Like you must know yourself. Like if you ever been like choked up inside, and someone says, "Are you all right?" and you go, "Yeah, I'm all right,"
Yeah.
because you don't look like what's going on, and you still manage to make people around you feel safe. That's a gift in itself. And I thought, if that's my gift, then I'm just going to lean into that. And then people was coming to me for advice all the time. I was giving the best advice, but never following my own. So then I thought, why start listening to me? Why don't I start listening to me? And then I started, and then here we are. Do you know what I mean? It took a few years, but I've managed to build something substantial.
That's what Providers is about, being the men, having the weight of the world on your shoulder and not having no one, not to say you don't have no one to talk to, but like the information that you give out to people, can be used as a weapon. Do you get what I'm trying to say? If you overexpose yourself. But being aware of how to speak and who you can speak to, especially in your darkest times, is something that a lot of men don't understand, or pressure hits and you do the wrong things. You get what I'm saying? So this is what this is about, encouraging people to do, like just being able to speak. You get what I'm saying? But like when I say that, bro, like I always gotta say it with like a thing where I'm not encouraging men to like go out there and cry to everyone or this and that, because that's not going to help anyone in any situation. But then holding things in doesn't as well. You just got to be aware of yourself, your surroundings, and who you can talk to, bro. Do you get it? You get what I'm saying? And like me and you now talking and reasoning, like you're from Manny, you got your own journey. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
We're having a little reason now. We're like, you know what I'm saying? Like just this little interaction, it can help someone to see that. You've got
to be selective of who you lean into, though, because if you can tell, like everyone, I did a post about it the other day. Everyone's always raising all this awareness for mental health, but there's no support, and all you're doing by raising awareness is just basically highlighting your problem, saying we know you're fucked up. This is why you're fucked up, but there's no system there to help you out of it. So you're not doing anyone any favors. You're just basically putting a prettier form of neglect out there. Do you know what I mean? Whereas, like, I think as well, a lot of men get it twisted, like. The pain and the weight of the world, that's a responsibility. It's not a burden. Do you know what I mean? You've got to pull the lesson out of the pressure and make something of it yourself. That's how you learn and that's how you grow. Like, growth's not pretty. Growth's not fucking comfortable. It's not like the sky's open and rainbows start happening. Do you know what I mean? Growth's ugly, mate, and you've got to be willing to fucking digest it and not go under when you are under pressure. And learn.
That's a big one as well, because like you said, you see how you said you want to be an actor and those things. Like, I feel like, you see, when I grew up, I weren't dumb on it in school, you know, but what do I need that for? What do I need that for? You know what I mean? Like, I'm good at doing it. If I apply myself, I can get it done, but I can't see a use case for any of this. Yeah. Whereas I'm at this stage in my life now where I feel like I could potentially go back to uni, bro. Do you get it? And learn something because I want to, though. Not necessarily because it's the outcome for it. It's because I want that information. It's because I want to go into that area. Do you get it? So
I think that, like, see, with the uni thing though, now I think you could get somebody, like, the difference between uni you set out for like 3-4 years. Here's a course, it's only this time, whatever. Whereas you could time collapse that by getting a mentor. A mentor will do what a uni could do in a year, but you're actually dealing with someone who's got experience in the field. Not just someone who's reading from a textbook. That's why I always say that's why when people always come to me for help, they've been counselling and things like that before, because there's different types of help and education. People are only reading from a textbook they've studied. They're not coming from, like, you won't learn how to do a fucking podcast from somebody who's never even sat down with a microphone and put a set of headphones on, would you? You'd want to know someone, even if he'd only done it for 6 months and it had burnt to the ground, you'd still want to learn. You'd want the information. Do you know what I mean? But that's what I mean. You've just got to be. Like, you've got to decide, like you said, you've got to weigh up, like, your options and weigh, like, what's going to work for me, like, you know.
So in terms of the actual coaching, who are the people that would you say that you focus on, or what's your, like, niche?
To be honest, like, this is when I've had my first mentor. He was saying he wanted me to do fitness coaching and things like that, and was like, mainly do fitness clients and things like that, because I'm in a half decent shape. I know how to eat clean. I know about, like, biohacking and all things like that. Do you know, things how to, like, rejuvenate the body and stuff like that, and give your body what it needs. I can do supplement plans and all that. But when you're coaching, you have to, I think, like what I was just saying, I think using your experience is because every coach, you can pull up 10 transformation coaches now. Do you know what I mean? They're all telling you to do the same thing, but it's just, I feel like I'm targeting men, but I get a lot of women clients. Women always come to me because they're like, you're just straight talking. I think because I speak with so much conviction and passion.
Is it different talking to men and women, or is it the same?
So I speak to everyone the same, you know.
Yeah.
Like one of my clients the other day, she was like, she burst out laughing when we was on a call, and I end up getting a relationship. If I spend a couple hours with you, I'm talking to you like I've known you all my life. Do you know what I mean? And like where I'm from, it's just banter. Like you throw empty threats out, and I said something to her. I went, if you don't, I'll fucking slap you. And then we both looked at each other. And and I went, how professional is that? I said, can you get a life coach that will tell you he'll fucking slap you if you don't do what he tells you to do? You won't get that on the NHS. Do you know what I mean? It's just fucking, it's mad, bro. But I just go with whoever comes to me. Like, don't get me wrong. Like, I'm constantly, I get an influx of message every day. Can you help me? Can you help me? But a lot of people don't actually want help. They want the attention that appearing to be helpless brings them. You know what I mean? And you've got to, like, there's probably people in your life who've like, oh no, can you borrow us this? Can you help us this? And then you'll give them the help, and they'll just squander the bag, or they'll just fuck up the help. They won't capitalize on the things you're giving them. Do you know what I mean? So as a coach, you've got to have like a good vetting process, because you can get a lot of weirdos through the door. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, 100.
So it's like, to say that I've got like a target client, I've not. I've just got just people who really want to change. You can be man, woman, black, white, fat, small, whatever. I'll help you if you're really serious about help. I'll do my absolute best for what
to understand what you need.
To understand what you need and give you the best possible advice, and give you a plan to definitely better yourself anyway, at the bare minimum.
Yeah, man, that's proper. So in terms of the whole coaching thing, where do you see yourself taking it? Like, what's the long-term vision for it?
I don't know. I just don't see any ceiling to it. I just don't think coaching's like something that, I don't think, so I do a lot of help on the front end for free. So like, if you go to my page, you don't even have to like, I could be on here now punting all my courses saying, oh, get me course for this and that, but just go on my page and check out the free stuff. Do you know what I mean? You probably I get more messages off the free stuff than I do off my courses and my clients. You know what I mean? So I just want to just keep growing, the more people I impact is just going to depend on how much I put myself out there and how much vulnerability I show, and how I just try and be as real as I can, like in interview situations like this. I've only just really started doing these, so I'd like to just do more of these, just grow, just grow and just see where God allows
just
me to take it.
Basically.
You know what I mean? Yeah, just organic.
Yeah.
And just fucking resonate with people like yourself, and see, because you could have some viewers now that need somebody like me who's gonna fucking tell them straight. Do you know what I mean? And they've just been waiting for this podcast to drop. So I'll just be like, I don't know. I don't have like a big like 5-year plan or whatever. I've got like motivational speaking gigs in the summer where I'm going to be like addressing rooms full of people and things like that. That's a dream of mine too. You know what I mean? So I'm excited to get my teeth into that. But I'm just growing. I've got a community, and I do like one-to-ones too. But my community is growing nicely. It's becoming like a family. Do you know what I mean? So I'm just trying to extend it slowly. I'm not trying to rush it. I used to like fall into a trap of putting too much pressure on myself. Do you know what I mean? And like the world puts enough pressure on us as men, so I don't need to be fucking putting my own foot on my own neck. You know, I just like take it easy, let it be what it's
That's
gonna
what I
be.
was going to ask you. So who looks after Peter?
Do you know what? I've got a good group of friends. I've actually got like some people who, and we look after each other. But like, I've got people who I'll answer to. Like one of my friends is like my brother. Like if I start falling off with this, or if I've not posted for a couple of days, he'll get on the phone. He'll go, "What? I thought you was a motivational speaker. You're not posted for 2 days. Sort your head out, you muppet. What you've been doing, crying into your pillow? Just be hard on me. Just be a prick." And I'll be like, "What?" And it'll just make me want to fucking, he knows how to push me buttons and things like that. But then I've got
those are the best people, though. Still,
those are the best people. Like the people who genuinely give a fuck about you in this world will tell you when you're fucking up. They're not gonna fucking accommodate your shortcomings or placate you for any bullshit decisions that you're making. They're gonna go, "No, you're better than that. Sort your fucking shit out. Get back on chasing the bag, or get back on chasing your vision, and be who you're meant to be. They'll push you to be who you're meant to be, and like, help you get to your potential. Not just fucking sit back and watch you make mistakes and not say nothing. Like your true friends will fucking stand on you. Do you know what I mean?
100%. Seems like you got a good circle around you still.
It's good. It's not the biggest, but do you know what? Like I've got a lot of connections online, good people who I know for a fact, like even in my community, like if something happened today where I needed to go somewhere, or I was in one of their hometowns or whatever, and I could phone them and say, "Look, I need, like, my car's broke down, can you come?" They'd come straight away like that, because it's like a community is like a family, do you know what I mean? So like connections online are important, man.
Keeping your name clean is a big thing as well, like, because you can mod up your name, dirt up your name by just not even turning up certain places. Like there's loads of ways where you can throw mud on your name, and Chinese whispers, oh no, I wouldn't mess with him because
Yeah, of
X, Y, and
course.
Z. You get what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
you've
So-
got to, that's what I mean. So you've got to be very aware, like how you carry yourself and
Yeah.
things like that. And everybody who comes through any of my DMs and things like that, I've just got to be respectful. Even if I can't help them, I can be harsh as the next person. I'll tell you, you fucked. You need to do X, Y, and Z. But I'll keep it amicable. I won't be like, I won't start verbally like assaulting people. I'm never in anyone's comments chatting shit. I don't fucking like when I see someone down, or like I won't make a reaction video and be like, ha ha ha. Do you know what I mean? Like I don't clout chase for all the wrong reasons. You know what I mean? I'd rather, like you said, build it up organic. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, man, Peter. Like one thing that I do tell everyone is that obviously you've been here now. There's like it's a revolving door. So like it's conversation, and it like we've spoke now for the first time. Next time you come, we can have a whole reason on a whole different topic
Of course, yeah.
and go in different directions. You get what I'm saying? I need to tap into that Man City thing a bit more. You know, I'm a United fan.
Come on,
You get what I'm
man.
saying?
Come on, man. You've
You
not
get what I'm
seen
saying?
the
So-
dark days, but you're on the way there by the looks of things.
But the thing about it is, them times there, we was battering yous.
Derby day was like a nightmare when
Yo,
it was coming
what-
up, and all my friends are Reds. I'm thinking,
That's what I was gonna say. What was that like, though, man? Like when
Listen,
United are on top here, and your City from Main Road, like
do you know what? Like, do you know every game that we made a little bit of
Yeah.
progress? Like, there was remember the one Rooney scored that overhead kick?
Yeah,
I was
yeah,
content
yeah.
in that game. I was in the pub with all my mates. They were
Yeah.
mainly Reds. We was all drinking whatever. As soon
Mm-hmm.
as Rooney scored that overhead kick, it was like I was the enemy, mate. Fucking people throwing shit
Yeah.
at me and all that. But it's just been, it's mad, man. But like,
Yeah.
I don't know, man. I just
maybe you'll get back to them days one of the times, and we'll get back to it.
fucking
Well,
not in our lifetime, bro.
But yo, Peter, thanks
Yo,
for coming down.
respect, bro.
much
Thanks for
respect,
having me, bro.
Yeah, man.
You know, like when you're on the road, yeah,
There's no 9 to 5.
that road is from 24 to 24, 12 to 12. Even if you're on the road and you're making £5 a day,
Yeah.
you're on road 24. Even if
There's
you have
no
an hour
shutting
now,
up.
if your phone rings, you're up. Like when you go in studio now, it's like, raw, nah, man, I'm finishing it. If the song's half finished, I don't care if it's 5 in the morning, we'll go in again. And also networking. So like when you're on the road, you're dealing with different people. Not every drug user is homeless. You got some people that are rich that take heroin. You know what I'm saying? So even when you're on the road, you're dealing with people that are all from different walks of life. So you know how to network in it. You might not be knowledgeable in every single topic because obviously you're from the roads in it. You might not even be book smart, but just having common sense and street smart and knowing raw. This is this and this is that. Then
Same hustle, different product.